Betty Crocker Means Good Nutrition, an excerpt from Monkey in a Pink Canoe. As a rambunctious kid growing up in Southern California, I was lucky enough to live at home under the loving dictatorship of two middle-income parents. In exchange for a couple of menial tasks like mowing the lawn and cleaning out the septic tank, my parents gave me a comfortable place to live and home-cooked meals. After I moved out on my own, I discovered there were limited options for feeding myself. The first was eating out. If you don't care about good nutrition, calories, or price, you can find anything you want by going out to eat. I started with the cheapest, greasiest joints I could find. Shakey's Pizza, Kentucky Fried Chicken, McDonald's, they were all just minutes away from my apartment, so I knew that while I might contract rickets or scurvy, I'd never starve. The places with drive-through windows got most of my business. By accident, my roommate and I found Friggenberg's Swedish smorgasbord. For $5.95, we developed a foolproof way to eat for days. We'd walk up to the cashier and ask for a takeout tin, one of those round aluminum pans with the cardboard tops. We never had any use for the tops, so we used them as disposable frisbees. The structures we built typically violated the local building ordinances for maximum allowed height. We'd start by spreading a layer of mashed potatoes over the bottom and the sides of the pan. This was our foundation and helped to anchor everything else in place. Then we'd press carrot sticks vertically into the mashed potatoes around the circumference of the pan to provide a 6-inch high framework that supported the higher layers. After lining the inside of the carrot sticks with cabbage leaves, we were ready to start filling our vessel. We'd add the heaviest first. Swedish meatballs, various cheeses, sausage, and lutefisk were followed by a variety of salads, rice pudding, and jello, covered by a thick layer of impregnable gravy for the ride home. The result was a 15-pound behemoth that took two of us to carry out to the car. We were set for days. Eventually, I got tired of eating out every night, and because of my unusual table manners, I didn't receive many invitations for dinner, so I moved on to the box phase. Betty Crocker was the queen of bachelor cuisine. Her biggest seller was Hamburger Helper. It came in bacon cheeseburger, cheese lovers lasagna, cheesy beef taco, and 23 other types of pottage. Fortunately, I like cheese because that seemed to be the central ingredient in every one of them. Just add a pound of ground beef, and you have all the essential food groups in one dish. For a change of pace, I'd use Spam, anchovies, or canned cocktail weenies. When I was out of everything else, I'd steal one of the dog's Alpos. After I got bored with Betty, I moved into the frozen food phase. TV dinners, banquet fried chicken, and Swanson's Hungry Man. The weight I gained was a natural segue to lean cuisine and Weight Watchers, which ultimately evolved into mixing Slim Fast with beer. Then I discovered the magic of the crock pot. You can throw almost anything into a crock pot and come away with something that's at least marginally edible. I'd usually start with some type of animal part, an unidentifiable slam of meat or chicken, then smother it with a can of anything liquid I could find that hadn't already turned green. That was it. Whatever resulted usually wasn't too bad by the time it simmered for 18 hours. There were only a few times when the smell drove us out of the apartment. Most of the time it made enough to feed me and all of my roommates for a week, so I only had to cook once, if you call pressing the on switch cooking. Fortunately, I didn't have to wait long for the next phase, the gas grill. You'll find a gas grill on every deck in America. They're easy to use, too. When you get home from work, just fire up the grill and throw something on until it catches fire, and voila, it's mealtime. The best part is there are no dishes to clean. When I'm really lazy, I'll stand in front of it and eat right off the grill. I don't know how I've survived all these years with my unique approach to nutrition, but the fact that I've lived to be as old and fat as I am attests that I must have been doing something right. I can hardly wait to see what they come out with next that makes cooking even easier than the microwave. When it does, I'm in.